Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is going to be another pick a card reading. We're going to be asking a question. What do people admire about you but won't say? So maybe I might say, what do people secretly admire about you but won't say? Because I guess it could be a secret, you know what I mean? Or maybe it's not even a secret. Maybe you could pick it up. But, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the title, but it's going to be pretty much that. We're going to be asking, what do the people admire about you, and what is it that they admire about you but won't say, pretty much. Okay, so I don't want to make that too complicated because I'll start getting scatterbrained. Sagittarius, Mercury, Anyway, thanks to all those people who be liking, sharing, subscribing. Hey, thanks to all my locals that be booking them readings. Yeah, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for supporting me. Thanks every time I see y'all in the comments. I'm like, hey, this the town. Yo, y'all the real MVP. I love everybody, all my subs. But I really have a tender place when the people from around my circle and around my area be like, yeah, we fool with him. He's our champion. I don't know if they say that, but that's how I always feel. So anyway, I don't want to do too much talking. I'm just going to get going. I'll be back with the zodiac shortly too, so be looking for them. So we got 4 piles. All right, we got amethyst, we got pyrite, we got selenite, and we got malachite. All right. So take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get started over here with pile 1. Boom, pile 1. So, pile 1. What do people secretly admire about you but won't say? Ooh, you're very intelligent. Crafty person, very clever. You don't rely on friends. You listen to professional people, so you get information from the horse's mouth pretty much. You don't listen to nearsay or hearsay gossip. People admire that about you. You make your own judgments. And we first card out. So you could be a Libra, you could be a Leo, you could be a Capricorn, you could be a Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Leo, right? This could be those people who admire you but won't say. You could be them, it could be them. I mean, it could be you, it could be them, whatever, okay? But they feel like you use your mind very wisely, all right? People feel like you're very clever, you're a problem solver, you know how to, because with the pig spirit, this is like an animal that is very, very intelligent. Some people keep them as dogs, but they're like smarter than dogs. So this means that you pick up things very easily. People admire how quick you pick up things or you pick up on things. People see you as a person who's very egoic, but not in a necessarily a negative way. It's like more in a personal power. You have a lot of confidence, you have a lot of trust in yourself and in your mental capacity. All right. So people admire, and they won't tell you that they feel like you always know where to go or that you have unlimited potential, unlimited options. They won't tell you that, but they admire that about you, that you always have unlimited options or the appearance of unlimited options. All right. They feel like you're very creative and that you just are like free flowing, that you just go with the current of life. People feel like you know how to work because you got Libra energy here, which is about balance and partnerships. It's about being fair, but it's also about having your own needs met and recognizing when other people need their needs met. So you're a person who recognizes other people's needs as well as your own. So you're a very fair, very just, balanced type of person, as well as very intellectual. You could be very charming, very communicative, very talkative, sometimes a bit fickle, and they like that because with this fork in the road, that fickleness is like, I could go here with you, or I could go over here with them, or I could just be here by myself. Like you have options, you have opportunities, you have more than just one way of being or one direction of life to go for it. Or even relationships, because Libra represents relationships. It's the 7th house. So in that case, with the sun next to the fork in the road, this would be like you having a lot of options, being very attractive. For sure, you're very attractive. So people admire that about you as well, your attractiveness, all right? They admire your hard work, your perseverance. You're a person that gets things done, with this Capricorn energy. That Capricorn spirit is a get things done, makes you very reliable, very stable. Sometimes it makes you a bit pessimistic, or not really pessimistic. What's the word I'm looking for? It makes you a bit practical. You pay attention to the fine detail. You pay attention to what really matters, what things are going to add value. You know, you're a person that recognizes you just recognize your personal power, so because we got sacral chakra here, which is about a person who gets what they really desire. So people admire that about you, that you always get what it is that you truly desire through, I want to say, through leadership or through just your life force, or through basically pushing through, because Capricorn and the Leo energy is adjacent to it. So it's giving me that energy of being very charismatic, very showman-y, you know what I mean, but yet getting the work done. So it's like I don't have to go back over this again because I did it right the first time. So you're that type of person, and people admire that about you, as well as you being a person who knows how to individually fulfill themselves. So you don't need other people to do it, yet you know how to be fair in relationships or balance. You know what fair, equal give and take is. All right. So people secretly admire that about you. People also secretly admire that you know when to give up, when you know when to surrender relationships, or when you're fighting a losing battle. So people admire that about you, because we got the world in reverse with the 7 of Wands. This is about recognizing repeating cycles and things that aren't going anywhere, or when you're putting up a pointless fight, when you're fighting in a losing battle. You recognize that with the Ace of Swords. You have clear sight, clear precision. You are a person who speaks the truth. So people know you as being a very truthful speaker, as well as being very intellectually stimulated or very intellectually advanced. Because the pig spirit gives me intellectual advance, powered by the sun. That's like kind of like people can see this. People that's like the first thing that they notice, because it's right next to the sun, as well as the energy of knowing where you're going in life. Because this Capricorn is tied up to the fork in the road. So you always have a path or a destination, and you know where you're going in life. And people secretly admire that about you. You have a lot of vitality. You might work out. You might take care of your health, because the sun energy is about vitality, life force, taking care of health. It's the masculine energy, it's, it's the yang. So it's that getting this to drive, getting things going, self-expression. So they recognize that you're able to express yourself, creatively and with your words, mentally. So verbally, you're able to communicate, communicate, I guess, your needs, or communicate some type of motivation, because it says motivation here, but you're able to communicate your truth very clearly, very straight to the point. All right. So people recognize you as a person, or they admire you for being a person who feels like they can make a change in the world, or that they're big enough to be, recognized by the world. All right. I just mostly feel like people just admire that you're able to get rid of like pointless cycles, or not repeating over the same patterns. Like, how to release things that are no longer fulfilling to you anymore. And that's what people really admire about you. So you have like a relaxed temperament. So you're very chill, very relaxed. I don't see too much of anything pushing, and except for when it's time to move in a direction in life. That's when you're more motivated, and you're very pushy, and you're very self-assured, very headstrong in terms of moving forward in maybe career, or moving forward in, I won't say in relationships, because relationships over here on this side is more like you cut relationships off, but you know how to be fair if you need to. On this end, it's more like when I'm working towards a goal, or some specific idea, or something, when I'm working towards something that matters to me, or there's unlimited potential ideas, or potential roadways, or pathways to take, you're a person who pretty much pushes forward and just picks one. You just pick what you want. Or maybe you could be undecisive. You may have a lot of options, a lot of roads, a lot of choices to take, and you may sometimes just be taking your time, and that could be that too. Because Capricorn energy gives me more of a taking my time type of thing. I'm gonna get there when I get there type of thing. So you could be that, and people might admire that about you. Where you may have suitors waiting, or business partners waiting, or associates, friends waiting, but they're there when you call. So it could be that type of energy, and people may admire that about you. People just really admire your independence and not having to rely on other people. You may come off as a professional, or have a professional attitude, and people admire that about you. More so just that you feel like you make a difference. You just have a big level of self-confidence and self-belief in yourself, and you're willing to be fair with other people in order to get fulfillment for both of you, but you're wise enough and smart enough, and have enough intellect, or have enough clear vision to see when things are repeating and when they're not going to, produce the fruit that you're looking for, or when you're putting in pointless resources, or fighting a losing battle. You know how to let go of that. All right. Here's your advice. It says, relax. There is plenty of time to do and achieve all you desire. Place your hands gently on your heart and allow your breath to guide you to a quiet space within. Imagine yourself bathed in golden light flowing from the eternal heart of God. I, your guardian angel, am with you. Allow me into your heart. You will accomplish more by focusing on that which is most important, love. Okay, so pile 1, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the 3rd house. Boom, pile 2. So, pile 2. What do people secretly admire about you but won't say? Well, for sure, they feel like you get abundance very fast, very quickly. So you grow, you expand, money, luck, a whole bunch of things come into your life unexpectedly and super fast. People feel like you have strong levels of intuition, or you have a lot of emotional intelligence. You're able to follow your instincts whenever you get a good idea. And people feel like you're able to just kind of like magically create stuff with this dream the world into being right next to Jupiter, which is about abundance and expansion. People feel like you're able to just dream, and Jupiter is a sign of like dreaming, you know what I mean? It's of imagination. And so people feel like you have a very vivid imagination, very good. You're very emotionally astute. You're able to communicate these ideas. So you have emotional intelligence, and you have, because it's idea right next to perception, which has to do with emotions, understanding, underlining emotional depth in terms of partnerships or just around people. You recognize feelings and vibes, so you pick up very good vibes. People feel like you're very a lucky type of person. Now you could be a Sagittarius, you could be a Cancer, you could be a Pisces, could be a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And those are the signs I got. Okay? But people feel like you're a person that's always on the go. So they admire you for being able to leave and never having to look back. They feel as you're a person who doesn't let their past hold them back. But you kept some of the gifts and some of the talents that you learned in the past. Now people see you, or they admire you as a person who's purified, or who's pure. You go off the image of maybe being a bit saintly, or being a bit higher realmed, or higher something like that. You know what I mean? Like something spiritual here, because this Jupiter gives me like mysticism, even though that's not necessarily what Jupiter represents. It's just kind of giving me that feeling of like mysticism. You're just kind of like there where people can't really reach you, but you're seen. They can see you, but they can't quite reach you, is the vibe I get. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're not from here. All right. So people feel like they admire you because whatever it is that you say, your opinion matters to other people. So they admire like how you speak or how you communicate. And when you communicate, they admire that other people admire what you're saying. You know what I mean? They feel like other people value or respect your words, respect your communication. These people see that you're very compassionate, so they admire you for being very loving and not letting past hurts or past heartbreaks hold you back from being open and receptive to new opportunities and new chances. But it's time to go next to purification. I feel like people see you moving towards your abundance, and they admire that. They admire you as a person who's getting things done or is moving forward in life and not allowing the past mistakes or past habits hold them back. They see you as a person who, so people admire that you're very truthful. You know what I mean? They feel like you won't lie to them. People feel as if you're very truthful and that you'll leave from situations very quickly that where there's betrayal or where there's a breakup or where there's jealousy and envy, you leave from those situations very quickly. You know what I mean? People also see you as getting over defeat very fast as well. You know, not being too bogged down in the details after something has gone wrong. They see you as a person who they admire you for being a person who sees things in a new way. So you see things from a perception or from a lens that I say normal, but that majority of people don't see. So you're able to see maybe beyond the veil, because remember how I was telling you this Jupiter energy was giving me like a mysticismness, you know, so maybe you see beyond the veil. Maybe you have this energy of being able to see things before they get there, or seeing things like having great intuition, or just kind of like being able to see based on, you know, a sequence of events, how things will play out. You know, they just kind of see you as a far-sighted type of person. They see you as a person who's, like I said, just very loving, very compassionate, very warm, very lovable. Just like, you know, and they probably know you as maybe having a hard past, because don't let your past hold you back would kind of imply that people have already seen you have a hard time going through rough change, or they've seen you transform and move forward, you know, because right next to don't let your past hold you back and time to go towards abundance is like they've seen you dust yourself off, get over a tough cycle, and start moving forward towards where you're really destined to be, you know, towards new opportunities, because this is a doorway here that she's going towards. So this is going towards new opportunities, which is leading to abundance. You know, I just threw the Jupiter card off, so it's leading to abundance. All right, but basically it has you with dreaming. You know what I mean? You're dreaming of infinite possibilities. You're a dreamer. You know, they really just see you as a dreamer who isn't afraid of defeats or losses or things not going in their way, because you're pretty much going to keep going. You're going to keep pushing. You don't worry about past defeats, past losses, past heartbreaks. That doesn't stop you from moving forward. That's basically what they admire the most, is that you just keep going. You eliminate the things that aren't working and keep moving forward. You know, they may even see you as getting rid of addictions, or getting rid of maybe detoxifying, maybe dieting. Maybe they admire that you're dieting, or that you're eating better, or you're not smoking, or you're not drinking, or you know, maybe you're getting more rest. They admire something about the way that you're purifying your body or taking care of yourself. You know, now people see you as having very great intuition and able to process past griefs and resentments. You know, you don't hold on to guilt or shame, because this is right next to this is heart chakra color as well. You know, I mean, you know, it's a different green. This could also be throat chakra, because I've seen the color like that. So this, you know how to speak up when it's time for you to move on. You know what I mean? You're not a person who's afraid to speak up and move on. And especially with this Eight of Wands, this is about communicating, you know, and this is about passionate communication. So you're very passionate with the way that you communicate, and it may have to do with abundance as well, or good luck, prosperity. Maybe you talk a lot of life into other people. But this is like, if people lie, like you can kind of like see through lies, and if people lie, you leave them, because it will lie to your face, and then right above it is time to go. So maybe if people lie to you, you leave them in the dark, or you leave them in the past. You know, you're not afraid basically to leave from people who betrayed you. That's the big thing I pick up. It's like you have no fear of leaving from people when they're betraying you, or when they've let you down, or when they've stabbed you in the back, or you know, or when there's a loss, you know, and it seems like you may be drowning, or when life is becoming overwhelming. You have no problem just leaving, you know, and quickly, you know, setting your intentions and getting on up out of there. You know what I mean? People admire that the way that your heart is expanding. You know, I see a lot of heart chakra here and a lot of third eye chakra. So you have a great intuition. So they admire you being able to see yourself clearly now, or see the world more clearly, as well as you being open to brand new opportunities, which I think I've said that already, but that's pretty much the gist of it. You know what I mean? Here's your advice. Manifestation. Believe in yourself. Trust your instincts and follow your heart. For in doing so, you shall manifest all your heart's desires. The life you have for so long aspired to create will soon manifest. So let me read this again. Manifestation. Believe in yourself. Trust your instincts. Follow your heart. For in doing so, you shall manifest all your heart's desires. The life you have for so long aspired to create will soon manifest. All right. So, pile 2, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and this is Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile 3. So, pile 3. What do people secretly admire about you but won't say? Okay. So, you could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Could be one of these signs. Or you could be just having these placements in your chart. You know, you don't always have to have it as your sun sign. It could just be anywhere in your chart, and you may be exercising this. So, people admire how deep you really get into larger subjects. They feel like you immerse yourself into big picture thinking or into bigger projects. You know, people admire how you follow after your dreams, how you have faith in them, you know what I mean, and how you're able to put the pieces together, all the individual pieces. People admire how you're able to be patient and wait for brand new opportunities or for things to go in your way. You're very observant with the synchronicities of life. And so sometimes, you know, people could kind of like this energy of you being a dreamer, you know, because I mean, this was kind of like pile 2, but this is like being a dreamer and being a bit naive, not having self-limiting thoughts. Like you don't limit yourself to one way of being or one way of seeing things. So people like that you can see multitudes of ways of being. You know, now people admire the way you protect yourself. You know, they admire that you protect yourself emotionally, but they admire your strength. So you have a level of emotional strength, you know, or maybe even physical strength, you know. But this is more from proceeding after, proceeding. So pushing forward after the things that you genuinely want, that you really want, your desires. You know, they love how you're patient enough to wait for things to line up for you to go after them. You know, people, they admire that you have very good vibes, that you're very easy to get along with, because we have trine here. And trine is about being very easy to get along with. You also could be a person who pushes people sometimes out of their comfort zone with no place like home and trine. So you could be a person who kind of pushes people outside of their comfort zone, and they admire that about you. You know, you may be a person also who sets up clear boundaries, you know, and people respect that. You have very clear set boundaries. You know, with this Cancer energy, this can sometimes be about, it is about protecting yourself, you know what I mean? But it's also sometimes getting into the deeper issues in terms of emotional depth. So you are a person who knows how to find, so let's say that you're having a disagreement with a friend, a family, a lover, you know, or whoever, right? You can understand through conversation. It's like emotional intelligence. You're able to pick up what is the real underlining issue. What's the big picture here? What is the main issue here? So people admire that about you, that you're able to pick up what the big picture or what the main issue is whenever there's an emotional issue. All right. People admire how you basically follow your impulses. You know, how when you follow your impulses, there's proof or evidence of you following them. Like, there's rewards, you know, there's progress whenever you follow them, you know, and at the same time, you're patient enough to kind of follow through with them and keep it moving, keep it going. You know, you're very supportive, very expansive. People admire that about you. You might always be home as well, you know, with there's no place like home, or you may just be comfortable alone, like not comfortable alone. You may be comfortable in your own skin, because no place like home is also about being confident and comfortable in your own skin. So you could be that type of person. And with the 7 of Cups, I see you as being a person who kind of like lives in a fantasy world, has like their own hopes and dreams that, you know, maybe you share with others, maybe you may not, but they feel like people admire that about you, that you don't see life for the way that it is. You see it for the way that you would like to see it. So you have a different lens than how others do. You see life in the way that you would like it to see it. And it doesn't keep you It doesn't keep you locked into your own thoughts. You're a person who doesn't have self-limiting beliefs about your ideas. You could come off as a bit naive or a bit impractical, you know what I mean? Some people admire how you're easily, because I could also see this as like, you know, maybe you having easy options, you know what I mean? Because the page in the cups sometimes can be about promiscuity and sincerity. And with the seven of cups, this is usually about options and sometimes picking the bad people at love, but you don't stay stuck in them. You know what I mean? Like you don't really keep yourself stuck in situations. You just kind of, you may be, you know, floating back and forth with partners, but I don't want to say floating back and forth, but I feel like it's not purgatory, but it's like you have them. There are people around. They're kind of like orbiting around. You know what I mean? Like you keep people around, and you may like give them like banter or like, you know, flirty. You might flirt with them a little bit. You might, you know, share some feelings with them a little bit, but it's never too deep. You know, and people admire that. Like you have solid boundaries. You know, it's like I can love you from a distance or I can love you close by, but there's always a boundary about how I want to be loved or how I want to be treated. And so people secretly admire that about you. You know what I mean? People secretly admire how you handle attacks or, you know, how you handle confrontation. You're not a person who automatically reacts. You're more of a person who kind of sits and waits and lets it unfold, lets it expose itself to you before you actually act on your impulses or before you move forward on situations. But now I'm also seeing you as a person who's very emotionally eruptive. So sometimes people admire that you're able to be very fiery, very passionate when it comes to your feelings. You know, and this, I feel like a volcano, like you erupt. You know, like boom. You know, but I also feel like people feel like you're very, you know, maybe you could be lucky in love. You know, because with this, I kind of feel like this arrow, like, you know, Cupid's arrow with Cancer, which gives me like a love. So maybe you could be lucky in love, or you're a good catch, something like that. Make people maybe admire that you're like pretty much a good catch when it comes to relationships. You know, I just feel like people more so admire that you know how to protect yourself, you know how to be at peace with yourself, you recognize opportunities when they come along, you're very easy to get along with, you know, you're pretty much a lucky person to encounter, you know what I mean? And at the same time, you never get too deep or too engulfed in other people that you don't know how to separate or that you don't know how to build boundaries. You might have very firm and solid boundaries, because with no place like home, the Eight of Swords in reverse, and what was I looking at? Anyway, with these cards here, I'm just basically seeing this as an independent person. Like, you're not afraid to be alone. You have no fear of spending time alone or being, you know, doing things on your own, getting things done, you know, and you're very lucky. You're a very opportunistic person, but not in the sense of like waiting for other people to create the opportunity, but you recognize opportunities and you can see where they will lead down the line. You know, with this Sagittarius energy, this is future. This is almost like futuristic. This is seeing the whole playing field and understanding how bits and pieces all add up to the same equation or to the same final answer. So people see you as, you know, they admire you for being that type of person who can see, you know, step by step how this can all play out into the bigger picture. You know, they just see you more so as a person who has faith in all your dreams and maybe even gets a bit lucky or is very accurate with following their dreams and getting their aspirations and hopes fulfilled. You know, you just follow your impulses, which is like your desires. You just follow that inner fire that takes you there. They just feel like you're very positive. People admire that about you. You're just very positive and very self-sufficient. Okay, so here's your advice. It says, peace. Calm your thoughts and move your awareness to a peaceful space inside your heart. Feel the ebb and flow of love, the eternal movement of the stars. Your life is forever unfolding to greater spheres of love. Relax and do not worry about anything, for all is well. You will soon enter a time of well-earned peace and tranquility. So, pile 3, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and this Leo in the 3rd house. Boom. Pile 4. What's up? Pile 4. What do people secretly admire about you but won't say? Oh, this one had a lot of cards. Okay, so you could be a Libra Could be a Capricorn. Could be an Aries, a Leo, a Taurus, an Aquarius, or a Scorpio. Okay, this one had the most cards. Okay, so for sure, people like the way that you think. You're an independent thinker, you know, with this cat spirit. So people feel like you're a person who doesn't need other people, but you're not a person who feels like you know it all. So with this door here, all right, so if I just jumped out of line, but that was really what was sticking out here. That was big. Whenever I see cat spirit, I know that you're a very independent person. You don't need other people, but it's connected to the way that you think. So your thinking isn't based on other people's perceptions. You may even be a communicator who's able to change other people's perceptions in order to give them brand new starts in life, or to give yourself brand new starts in life. Because we have North Node as your first card out, which is about going in a destiny. I mean, going in the direction that your soul is inclined to go towards in terms of higher growth, or more information, or just a better experience in life. You know, it's getting you outside of your comfort zone. So you might meet new people. And with the door right next to it, this is about change perspectives, ideas, or communications that change your perspective and other people's around you, that allows new opportunities to form. So that's the type of person that you are. People admire that about you. The way that you communicate is very empowering. You know what I mean? So people admire that you have this level of freedom, you know what I mean? This independence. You're able to integrate being very empowered, yet being very insightful with other people. You're not a person that thinks that you know it all. With this wolf spirit in reverse, this is about gaining information, not being afraid of. It's like having a beginner's mind, you know. So you're a person who doesn't have preconceived ideas or preconceived notions about how things are be. You're more of a person who's open-minded, free, you know, a free thinker. You don't let your judgment be based on the judgment of other people as well. Because with the surrender to divine, this is just like the same as the North Node in that deck almost. It's just like going forward, allowing the divine to take over. You're not in control of things. So you become aware. You know, people admire that you pretty much surrender to divine, or you believe in a higher presence, a higher understanding, a higher knowledge. You may even have psychic abilities with the purple chakra, I mean with the crown chakra, and we got crown chakra here. You could be very intuitive. We have pretty much all except for the throat chakra here. So you're very inspiring, you're very creative, you're very sexually alluring, because we have Libra here, and we have Aries here, and we have the wand, which is very sexually alluring. But you could be sometimes toning it down or bringing it down a little bit, not really acting on your impulses all the time. You know, people admire that about you. You know, they admire that you're very lucky, that you have a lot of abundance, that you know, you basically get brand new opportunities from releasing old people and old patterns or old beliefs. You recognize when things are not for you with this release, and with this not for you in reverse. You're a person who follows your heart. You know how to get in your heart. So you're very loving, very emotional. You know, when people feel like there's no hope, you're a person that gives them a higher purpose or a higher truth. You know, so that's where it comes back to this door. This door is about, you know, communicating to people in a way that changes their perspective, that changes their world. Because this is Uranus and Mercury connected, and you know, Mercury is about your communication and your thinking, and Uranus is about breakthroughs. It's about getting off the beaten path, you know, and it's about it's just about like the unexpected. So you can change people's minds, change people's perspectives. People admire that about you, but they won't say that. Now you could be a business owner. You know, you could be very driven or very ambitious. You know, people admire that about you, and they say that you follow your heart to get that. You know, they feel like you're maybe a workaholic, or you may be a bit detached, but people still love you for that. You know, they love you. They say that you're connected with your higher spirit. You know, people feel like you're whole. You know, with this independence and this solar plexus energy. This is about personal power, being confident in who you are, integrating two ways of being. So an old way of being, maybe you had some processed some old thoughts or some old feelings, and then you brought those ways into the new way of being. You know, you didn't have to cut off the old parts of you. You know, you allowed yourself to, you pretty much showing your shadow side. You're not afraid anymore, is what people admire about you. Now you're very empowered, you know, because it's right next to solar plexus with the heart chakra. So this. I get that you're a person who handles change pretty well now, or you always have. Maybe that's the thing here as well, because with this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you always get luck. You're always abundant. You know, things are always going in your favor in one way or another. You know, you may not be as pushy. You may be sometimes a bit passive. Or sometimes you may lack the enthusiasm to go out with friends, because I see the Three of Cups in reverse as well. You might lack the enthusiasm you might just be a loner. You might not really be like around a lot of people. Because this Ace of Wands with this Three of Cups is usually like not going out with friends, cancel celebrations and all that. So you might be a person that prefers not to be around people. And with Wolf Spirit, this is about independence, forging it on your own. I think of Lone Wolf. And then Cat Spirit is independence. So you're a very independent type of person, a get it done type of person, but yet very lucky, very communicative, very attractive, very psychically inclined, free to believe, like you're a free thinker. You're able to believe in what it is that you want. You feel like you have a choice. You might be a person who creates your own day. People admire that. So you could be a CEO or entrepreneur or somebody who owns a business, or a high ranking official or a high level manager or something, where you get to pretty much do what you want. People just feel like you do what you want. That's what they really admire about you. You just do what you want. You have great public perception, or great public is it perception? Maybe the public perceives you very well. Is that what I mean? That's what I mean, though. The public views you very well, so you have a lot of stable. You're very patient. You're very reliable, very resilient, but yet independent. You know what I mean? They admire when you communicate, because when you communicate, it changes people, or it leads people into the destiny towards their North Node, because I'm looking at the door with North Node. So you could be communicating to people who moves them towards where they're destined to go, where they're destined or meant to be at, but you're just more so a very independent person. You think for yourself. You don't need other people to believe in your beliefs, I guess, for you to move forward. You're a person who has a lot of insight, and where people feel like they're trapped and they feel like they don't have no hope, or like they don't want to be here, you're a person who schools them and lets them know that this is exactly where they need to be. So you're very inspiring and teach people how to focus. Okay. But people just admire that you're very whole alone. Like you don't need a group, a gang, a team. That's really what I get. Like maybe you don't ever have friends around either, because that's what it feels like. That there may not be friends. People feel like you make your own routine. They admire that. You're able to get up and go or do what you want when you want. Because that's what Cat Spirit gives me, is that energy of, when I feel like giving people attention, I give them attention. When I feel like being here, I'll be here. But if I don't want to be here, then I'm not here. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's kind of like pretty much what it is. But you're not a person who feels like you know it all. You're not, you don't feel like you have all the answers, Sway. You know what I mean? And that's what people admire about you. But they admire that you recognize when you're holding on to beliefs or patterns that aren't for you, and you know how to release them. You know what I mean? In order to get your abundance, or in order to shift the will or shift things into your favor. All right. People feel like you're like a conduit for the divine. Like you're able to pick up messages from the divine, because surrender to the divine with the third eye chakra means that you're able to, pick up information and decipher it, as well as decipher it pretty much. You're able to understand it. So when you get inspired thoughts, or you get downloads, you're able to understand the information that's coming to you, and then you're able to translate it to other people. That's what it is. Then you're able to translate it to other people. Okay? So with this solar plexus, heart chakra, and the sacral chakra, this is about change. These are the three chakras that are most important when it's time for change. So you're a person who knows how to basically stop on a dime and change the way that you were doing. This kind of relates back to that to this door energy, where you're able to change people's perspective. But this is also you able to change your own perspective on the drop of a dime, so you're always open to new information. You don't have that what's called cognitive dissonance. You don't have this energy where you find new information, but yet you don't want to believe it because it goes against previous beliefs that you've shared. With this Four of Pentacles in reverse, I see you as a person who lets go of previous beliefs that are no longer working for you. All right. And so you're a person who gets into your heart, trusting your heart chakra, trusting, the availability of life, becomes more accepting of what's coming, becomes more open-minded to new possibilities. So this is what people admire about you, that you're very empowered in this way of being. So let's give you your advice. Your advice says, patience. Patience is required at the moment. You may feel that things are not moving as fast as you would like, yet there is a lot going on energetically. The current situation causing concern is evolving positively. Let go and have patience. You will eventually realize that this whole event was in fact a blessing. All is perfect as it is. Trust. You are eternally loved and guided. And then we have prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me dissolve past guilt or regret. Help me to see that all is always in perfect and divine order. Help me to let go of the fear that I project on my future. Help me to live fully within each precious moment and feel your eternal love within and around me. Help me to realize and fulfill my true potential. Thank you. So, Power 4, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Nuni, and that's Leo in the third house.